Morning guys, welcome back to Alan's Allotment again. It's the 31st of August, Tuesday 2021. I'm actually on leave for a few days. I took the last of my holidays for this year, along with this bank holiday. So I'm off until Thursday and then I'm back on the Friday. So what I've done is I've popped up to the allotment again. You've seen yesterday we got the 24-foot race loft finished off and the birds segregated. I'm up here and I've had a bit of a lazy morning this morning. It's 10 AM and I've just come up, straight down, kettle on as usual, have my usual cup of coffee, and my intentions are to go in and make a start on the other stock loft, the ones with the tin sheeting around on the roof, or what I call the tin loft. So there's two sections in that loft. So I'm hoping, if I can and I have the energy, I'm going to try and get them both done and cleaned out today, and then hopefully we'll start to select the birds that we're keeping and remove them from there into the 24-foot race loft where they have all that space, which was just done, with the bigger aviaries on and more room for the birds. Any that we're going to sell we'll leave in one or both of those two sections when we're finished. This might even take me right up until I'm back at work on Friday, but then I'll have the Saturday and Sunday as well. Bearing in mind I've still got to tend to the plants, water the plants, etc., but I won't actually video that. So this next one or two videos are going to be all about the pigeons. So for anyone who's here for the gardening, I'm afraid we're having a little spell with the pigeons for now, and we'll be back to the garden later on in the year. Just going to have this cup of coffee and then I'll bring you along. Right guys, one down, one to go. So we've had all the grills up in here, completely bottomed this loft out, as you can see. And earlier in the year we did sort these to what we thought was all cocks. However, it transpires there's at least one hen in here and potentially three. So these are the this is a young brown satin-head cock. We haven't managed to get a breed off, nor did we get one off that one, but we do have 4 youngsters of this blondie-neck cock, and that one there is a youngster of it. Now that's the only one that is a hen out of the 4 that he produced. She has a little white dot on her head, and she's actually, strangely enough, paired herself. He must have known I was going to video him. To this Andalusian cock. And he, his mother is Andalusian race type pigeon. Is just Andalusian, but she's F1 for frill stencil, as the frill stencil Lebanon cock was her father, and he is a result of the Lebanon cock paired back to his daughter, and he has actually got some frill stenciling in the tail and the wings. He has slight frill stenciling showing through. So moving around, we have another nice, really nice marked frill stencil hen, we believe. I'm pretty certain that one's a hen, and it's more race type. That came out of the white check Lebanon cock, paired to the other daughter of the Lebanon white bar cock, which was F1 for frill stencil. And as you can see, a really, really nice frill stencil. They are heavy in the mug, guys, so you'll just they'll look even better when they're finished. Up here we have a pencil race cock, a race for me. He's kept for sentimental reasons. He does fly out, and as I say, he's a 2017, 16 or 17 bird, can't quite remember. Moving across, we have another frill stencil, who is also, I believe, a hen, and is the nest mate to this one. So again, it came out of the white check Lebanon cross race pigeon with the F1 black hen. Moving down, we have a milky cock, or believed milky cock. It's a young bird this year we got off Mark. It isn't showing like a cock, or I haven't seen it showing as a cock, but it could be. The other milky cock we got off Mark that we've done a trade with is a cock. Next to the milky cock we have another black F1. It came out of the same parents as these, but as you can see it's all black, but it still carries the frill and toy stencil genes. Then we have the old blondinette cock, which unfortunately didn't fill his eggs. And next to that we have a white bar blue with a white nose. And that's out of a white check Lebanon cock with a satinette brown hen. So that cock carries brown also, and will be hopefully paired to a frill stencil hen to try and get some frill stencil browns. Moving down, we do have another Andalusian believed cock. That's not the same. This one here, this Andalusian cock here, and that Andalusian cock here, which shows more frill stencil, are both brothers, and they're both off the white barred Lebanon cock to the F1 Andalusian hen. Just a better look at that frill stencil while it's on the floor. Making out really nice. These are better than I could have hoped, guys. This is only my second year at trying to produce the frill stencil, and these are sort of race type already. So the hens, these small hens will really come in handy in trying to perfect the race type with frill stencil. And then I think there's only one we haven't showed you, which is also a white check, and it's a full brother to this one, but two separate nests. If you remember, they only had one egg in each nest. So that's a white bar, white nosed toy frill stencil. You can actually see the frill stencil and spotting in the tail in that one as well. Not full, but it has one white spot tail feather. And then the white check down below is a full brother to it, and again it carries brown, and it's a white check as opposed to a white bar. Again, these only have the short beaks. Actually, it's looking like that white bar is a hen after all. So the white bar is a hen. That's even better still. We were really short on hens, so it's looking like we've got 3 frill stencil hens in here, guys. Or at least 2. That's one. I think that's the second one. And I do think that, yeah, I do think still that one is also a hen. I thought it was going to stand its ground and fight back with the pencil cock. If it had, that would have proved it was a cock. But the fact it flew away would suggest it's a hen. So we potentially have 3 frill stencil hens in this section. They are actually they are full brother and sister, but they both only have the short beak as the result of the mother being a satinette. But it's bigger than the satinette, and they should easily be able to feed youngsters. That's the whole idea. So we have a white barred blue. We do have another white barred blue, not off that same pair, which we'll show you when we do the other section. And we just put this other set of perches up here, just a few extras, that's all. They didn't really need it, but I've put them in anyways, because rather than leave them outside to get the rain, get them. We put a drop board under those perches, a couple of little drop boards. Another one here, just underneath where they're bobbing and out the aviary. We've got a grip pot in there We've also got the gritting minerals in here as well, guys. So, hope you've enjoyed a little look at these. These are just now to be sorted through, what we're keeping and what we're not. And, oh, there's another one there. There's this one here is actually, you can just, it's a black, but you can see the bars under the colouring on this one. And that is a Trigonino reduced hen to a frill stencil cock. So again, it carries frill stencil and, well, it won't carry reduced because it's a hen. But yeah, I think that's the more we've showed you now, guys. We've got quite a number of frill stencils, which I'm really delighted with now. And we're getting there slowly but surely. And it's only my second year of trying to produce the frill stencils. And we started with one white bar cock, Lebanon cock. Right guys, so we've got the hen section done as well. It's my good almond hen that came from Holland. Young fantail hen, milky check. She's the offspring of that milky check, with the cock that died, unfortunately. Then we've got an F1, nice size and type, a little tiny bit of bronzing in the wing, frill stencil. And we have another really nice frill stencil believed hen of size and type. Looks mostly like a racing pigeon, a nice small hen by the looks of it. This barless here is out of the ice birds, and it's actually a cock. They're actually just getting some minerals. I think that one is a cock actually, but most of these in here are hens. That's just a blue race hen, and a little white check trig. Another black F1 frill stencil toy. This is the other blue frill stencil, white bar, that came off the original frill stencil Lebanon cock, paired back to the Andalusian, his daughter, which was F1 for frill stencil. Again, this is a hen, not used this year, but it will be next. If you remember, we tried a cock with this and the cock was driving it to bits, and all the nest boxes were filled up by this time, so we didn't get round to using it, but we will next year. And then we have another laced satinette in here. That's just another laced hen that we didn't get round to using. And we have a little reduced Trigonino, which will also be for sale in there. That's a stray race pigeon, youngster that came in the loft. But as you can see, guys, I'm actually just looking, we should have two barless in here, now we can only see one. There it is, being on the grit pot. So that one there is off the blue barless cock with the brown hen. And I believe it's a hen, which is good. This one here is probably a cock. This is off the ice birds that were split for barless. And the very first youngster that came out was barless. And as you can see, it's lighter in body than the other barless. Then we have a yellow hen that came out of an almond with a recessive cock, a recessive red cock. She's going back to the white almond cock next year. She's going to the white almond cock next year. She wasn't used this year either. So we're going to use different hens hopefully next year. We have a nice brown light check hen that may go back to the brown spread cock next year for more browns. An F1 Lebanon hen, all black but carrying frill stencil. but this one here is a real pearler. That's a really good specimen, and lovely size and type. It's actually smaller than this one, so that's what I'm aiming for, guys. That's my type I'm aiming for in the frill stencil. It looks something like a race bird, and these ones that come out like this are coming off the white Czech Lebanon cock crossed race bird with the black F1 hen off the toy stencil Lebanon, their frill stencil Lebanon, crossed to a race type Andalusian. And and that one's mother is the black F1. So, hope you've enjoyed another little pigeon roundup, guys. It was harder work than it was video, and I can assure you. But we're all done. That's two of the biggest lofts, all bottomed out again now. I could have probably made a couple of duvets with the feathers that came from under here, and they haven't finished the molt yet. And they're looking quite nice now. Imagine what they're going to look like when they finish the molt in December. Thanks for watching, guys. Right, guys, that's been a very productive day, and I'm pleased to say I'm feeling a little bit better today. I've had a little bit more energy than I normally do have most days, and some motivation, which always helps when you're trying to do some work. So just for the records, for those that don't know, the satinettes and the blondinettes in the laced pied and the full lace, they are all frill stencil as well. They all have the white spotting in the tail, or a full white tail as in the blondinettes. But the full lacing in the blondinette right through the body is what is the ultimate goal for to try and get into the race type pigeons. I'm a long way from that, but I do have a lot of F1s from that one blondinette cock. Bit of the Trigonino was to bring the size down, although they're still rather large. At least the cocks are, but the hens nice and small. But more importantly, all four of those birds will carry the full lacing pattern, as well as frill stencil and toy stencil, because the mother is a toy stencil black Trigonino, the cock being a frill stencil blondinette. So just for the records, if for those that don't know, the satinettes and blondinettes, they are frill stencil. At least the ones I have are frill stencil. You can get those in the lace type that aren't frill stencil and aren't in browns and blacks, but all my browns and blacks, or blues, whichever you want to call them, are frill stencil from a reputable breeder who's actually quite local to me, who I stumbled across by accident. Right, so we have a lot of hens this year, which is very unusual, but delighted because that gives me a real good selection for next year. So much so that I'm not certain yet, but we might let some of the other colours go. I don't know yet, guys, because I do still like those colours as well. I'll probably hang on to at least a pair of each. But we've got, if we have the two milky cocks, we've got one at least, and if the other one turns out to be a cock as well, we can make two pairs of milky up next year in both bar and check. So we'll put the two barred cocks to the two check hens. Predominantly the youngsters will be milky check, but they'll carry the barred gene as well, and some may actually be barred carrying the check pattern. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out next year, guys. I've actually enjoyed just pottering today. It's taken me most of the day to do that. Now tomorrow I'm at a funeral, so I won't be doing anything at all tomorrow. And Thursday, weather permitting, we pop up and we might get this big stock loft here there's only 11 birds, 11 cocks in here, and we might get this one cleaned out and lift all the floor up. As you know, that one's 10 inches deep, and the floor hasn't been cleaned this season since the beginning of the year. However, they didn't go in until February, and it's only August now, end of August now. I have left that over 12 months before, and still space under the floor. But I'm thinking, while I have the motivation and potentially some energy, we'll get in there and get that one bottomed out, and that's good for another year under the floor. The purchase, as always, only take 20 minutes or so to clean down, guys. So we might just spend the whole day doing this one on the Thursday, back at work on the Friday, and then I'm off again for that weekend. And then what we don't get done, we'll probably get over in this bottom shed here with 11 ends in, get that all bottomed out as well, and that's another one done. Now, I said I took the last of my holidays for this year, and that's correct. However, our holiday period runs from October to October, so in October the new holiday period starts again. So it isn't that I'm leaving myself with no holidays for the remainder of the year. We can have a couple of days between now and Christmas as well, guys. As always, hope you've enjoyed the video. Stay safe, be practical, keep yourselves out of harm's way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.